Welcome to another episode of the Rorschach Test Podcast. I am your host, Tyrell James, and today I'm doing another one of my big picture episodes. One of my episodes that I decided I'm going to do once a month where I don't have a guest, and it's just me. And I'm talking about something, I'm using something that is a trending topic to highlight a larger issue. Um, this particular issue, I came up with the idea to talk about this a couple weeks ago, and then I changed my mind at the last second because I didn't want it to seem as if I was promoting violence because I'm not. And then last week something else happened, and last week I was going to do this show talking about this particular thing, and um I changed my mind again because I didn't want it to come across as if I was promoting violence because I'm not. With that being said, I am a firm believer in punching people in the face. Now, I know that sounds like I'm promoting violence, but I'm not. What I am promoting is the stoppage of further violence. There are people who, well, actually, before I get into all of this, let me do my thing here. So, first, let me pull up. So, I do this, I do this episode the same way I do um the Rorschach test, where I will put up a picture. I will put up the Rorschach picture, and then I will link it to what it is that I want to speak about. So the picture that I want to put up is right here. Okay, so when I look at this picture, I see an eye. I see an eye. Okay, that's one of the places people need to get punched, right in their eye. I personally prefer going to the nose first, breaking a jaw. I know it sounds violent. It sounds like I'm promoting violence, but I'm not. This is why. Situations like this. All right, so we're going to start here. Mike Tyson is minding his business. He's sitting on an airplane, and this guy decides he wants to antagonize him. He wants to chase a moment, or maybe he's even chasing money. I don't know. But he decided to antagonize Mike and to try to get a rise out of him. And exactly what type of reaction he wanted, I'm not sure. Not quite sure if this is the reaction that he was looking for, but he got it. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this is what he was going after, only because in this, this shows three different pictures here. Okay, that third picture with him pointing at his face and the look on his face, it seems as if he is still antagonizing Mike. It's like, look what I got him to do to me. Now, when I say that I'm a firm believer in punching people in the face, people like this, they need to be punched in the face. I really wish nobody would have stopped Mike. I wish Mike would have beat the hell out of him until boy, this sounds bad. But listen, just stick with me for a second, okay? Because I'm going somewhere with this. Again, I am not promoting violence. I'm promoting the stoppage of further violence. Now, I wish Mike would have beat the hell out of him, not to the point of killing him, but to the point of stopping him from ever doing something like this again. Let's go back to childhood. How many of us were spanked as kids? I was spanked, not a lot. I really didn't do much as a kid. I was a, good kid. But the times that I did get spanked, it made me realize I don't want to do what I did to get spanked anymore because I don't want to get spanked. I hear people say all the time that it was because of the discipline that they received from their parents that they are who they are now, that they are as successful as they are, that they are as strong as they are, but that they didn't go getting into trouble. They didn't go starting stuff with people because they understood consequences. They understood consequences. So when I say I'm a firm believer in punching people in the face, what I mean is I believe that some people need to get punched in the face because they need to know it can happen. They need to know I need to stay on my side. I understand people see celebrities, they get excited, and sometimes they start to see dollar signs and they decide they want to chase the moment, they want to chase the money. Well, I also believe that there should be a law against running up and shoving a camera or invading an entertainer's space or shoving a camera in their face. I think there should be laws against that. And if they don't want to make a law about it, I feel like that the celebrity should not get in trouble if they decide to punch the person in the face, because maybe that'll stop them from doing it. See, I'm trying to stop further violence. Because the fact of the matter is, somebody is not going to just throw hands. Somebody is going to kill somebody one day because you decided to run up on them. This doesn't just apply to celebrities. This is for everybody else as well. There are a lot of people, they just love antagonizing. They love running their mouth. They love trying to start stuff. And when I see a lot of these people, it makes me wonder if they were like bullies in the past. I remember I had an issue with a bully one time. We were playing basketball, and I remember he was on the other team, and he would go up and he would get rebounds, and he was a fairly big guy. He would go up and he would get rebounds, and he would just dribble. Like, let's say he got the rebound. Like, let's say my team missed a shot. He would go up, he would grab the rebound, and then he would just be like completely out of control, just dribbling the ball down the court, but running as if he was a running back with a football, trying to run people over. People were so scared of him that the refs didn't call any fouls on him. They just let it go. And my team was just getting out of the way and letting him do what he wanted to do. Now, I wasn't having it. So I told one of my teammates that was checking him. Now I was one of the smallest ones on the court. I'm the point guard. I have no business checking this guy. I should be checking their point guard. But my friend that was checking him didn't want to check him. They were just letting him do whatever. I said, let's switch. He said, what are you doing? Why in the world would you? Shut up. Let's switch. So we switched. I said, I got him. He get the ball. So he's already out of control when he's dribbling the ball. He doesn't want to pass the ball. So since he's so out of control, it's going to be real easy for me to steal the ball from him. So I locked him down. Dude had a horrible time dealing with me on that court. So somebody shot the ball. We both go up for the rebound. As we go for the rebound, both of us, we both have our hands on the ball. We're tangled up and we're both just trying to snatch the ball from each other. He's yelling and barking and throwing elbows until eventually the ball flies out of both of our hands and it goes out of bounds. And then we're both just staring at each other in the face. And he's barking, and I told him, do something, punk. Do something. I knew he wasn't going to do anything because I knew his reputation. This dude would always bully people. He would always talk trash. He was always barking on people and never threw a punch. Ever. And I told everybody on my team, I said, yo, he's not as tough as he thinks he is. The only problem is that he hasn't been punched in the face yet. That's it. As soon as he gets punched in the face, I bet you he will get humble. I bet you all he needs is for somebody to humble him. And they were like, well, I bet you won't be the one to punch him. If I have to, I will. I promise you I will. I promise you. Now, at that point in my life, I didn't have the boxing training that I have now, but I did have some. So I was ready. I was ready for whatever. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was nervous too. I absolutely was nervous. I didn't know how this was going to go, because if this big boy did decide to put his hands on me, I probably would have felt them punches. Good thing for me, my defense, when it comes to fighting, is on point. But I was just gonna have to deal with it. But I had to make a point. I had to send a message to him and to everybody else. So we're I remember as we're standing in front of each other and he's barking at me and I'm telling him to do something about it. One of my friends, actually the one I told to switch with me, he came and he grabbed me, pulled me to the side. He said, "Are you crazy, Tyrell? That he will kill you." And I said, "What makes you think that? Who have you seen him kill? Who have you even seen him fight? Nobody. All right, I'm about to show you who he really is." So we continue playing the game. Now he's frustrated and I'm running my mouth. I'm in his ear the whole time. Nervous, nervous, but not letting him see it. You will not see me sweat. You will not see me shake. None of that. But I'm still running my mouth and I get into his head. And the whole game changed at that point. Now my team starts to take over. We eventually end up winning the game. He's mad, walks off the court. And now at this point, he's no longer barking at me. He's barking at his team, and he's blaming them for losing. It's not their fault. It's yours. Now, the reason that I told that story is because, I normally sit here and I do this show and I have my notes ready, right? I don't have any notes. I honestly I decided to go lay down and take a nap. I woke up. I probably took a nap for maybe about 20 minutes. I woke up and said, "You know what? Let me go do this episode. I just want to get this out anyway." I have absolutely no notes. I am really not prepared for this. I'm just talking, and anything that comes to my mind, I'm just going to say it. Okay. No, I never punched him in the face. There's a part of me that wished that I did, because he continued to bully people after that. He never bullied me. He never said another word to me. But sometimes people need to get punched in the face because they have to know who they are. Albert Einstein has this quote: "Adversity introduces a man to himself." And some of y'all just need to be met with that adversity. Some of y'all need to realize that you ain't as tough as you think you are. Some of y'all just need to learn to shut the hell up. So that's one side. That's one side of the punch. The insecure side of the punch. And when I say the insecure side, I'm talking about the people like this bully or any bully that has to scare you before you scare them. See, they're already insecure about who they are. They're not comfortable with it. So before you get a chance to pull their card and to show people who they really are, they got to scare you out of doing that. So that's what they do. That's what a bully is. Let me tell you something. I absolutely hate fights. I hate watching fights if it's not organized. I love boxing. I love doing Krav Maga. I love all of the combat sports that I do. I absolutely love it. But in a controlled environment. Out in the streets, if I see a fight, go another way. Anything comes up on Facebook, I'm not watching these fights. I hate them. Unless it's a bully getting beat up. I absolutely love those videos. I love watching a bully get beat up because I know you just were introduced to yourself and things are probably going to change. And in a lot of instances, that punch in the face probably saved your life because it prevented you from continuing on through life. And, at this point, you have tricked yourself into thinking that you are some sort of bully and that you can go around intimidating everybody, but you can't. You're going to come across somebody that's going to put you in your place and possibly put you on your ass where you need to be. But There are also some instances where you're going to take that mentality to the wrong person, and you're going to bring it to a killer, and they're going to kill you. So you have to be very aware of what you are equipped to deal with. And you also need to be aware of the fact that you don't know what's going on in that person's mind. So let me take you to the other side of the punch now. Let's go back to Mike Tyson for a second, okay? The way that this guy reacted to Mike Tyson, it tells me that he's aware of who Mike Tyson is. And if you really know Mike Tyson's history, then you should know that this man has dealt with an incredible amount of pain. Now, I don't know if you all know, if everybody knows the way pain works, okay? Especially the type of pain that Mike has had to endure. You don't go through the things that Mike went through without a monster being created. Thankfully, he has reached a point in his life where he's able to tame that monster. But a tamed monster is still a monster. And all it takes is for the right situation for that tamed monster to forget that it's tamed, because it's still a monster. How many times have you seen like lions attack their trainer because they, you thought they were tamed? It's still a lion. It's still a lion. So there's only so much taming that you can do, and a cup can only hold a cup full. So if you start messing with somebody, if you start antagonizing somebody whose cup runneth over, and they have tried their best to suppress and tame that monster, but you try to do whatever you can to bring that monster out, it's going to come out. What idiot does that with Mike Tyson? Bruh, yo, he is known as the baddest man on the planet. What the hell is wrong with you? Maybe you chasing money, which I heard that he's not getting, by the way. The only thing he walked away with is 15 minutes of fame and some bruises. I'll take that. Hey, fair exchange. That's cool. But hopefully he walked away with a lesson as well. Hopefully he walked away knowing I can't do this to anybody else. Because on the other side of that punch could be somebody that's dealing with something. You may see an entertainer, or maybe not even an entertainer, somebody who's just probably just quiet, reserved, just to themselves. You may see them as an easy target, but you don't know what they could be dealing with. You don't know what kind of demons they could be fighting. You don't know what type of pain that they could be dealing with. And they could be just one issue away from snapping. But you want to antagonize them. And I'm talking to you people who are on Facebook, well, social media, period. You all want to, you like to get in the comments and run your mouth or run your fingers. Try to act as if you're something that you're not. I think a lot of y'all probably haven't been punched in the face, or you haven't been punched in the face by the right person the right way. That entitlement, that sense of entitlement, somebody needs to beat the entitlement out of y'all. Not to the point of you dying. Not to the point of there being any long-term damage. Just to get your attention. Just for you to realize, I cannot keep doing this to people. I cannot keep living my life like this. Because one day, somebody could kill you. You have to think things through all the way to the end, and you have to ask yourself, what is the worst possible outcome? Oh, you know what? I just thought about something. I have another picture down here. This picture right here. So, and this actually is this right here was actually the reason that I decided to even do this particular podcast. This was the deciding factor for me. I I first heard about Chris Paul, Chris Paul's, I believe it was his mother being touched by a fan at the game. And then Chris Paul, what you see here in this picture is Chris Paul reacting. Now, I'm not completely certain, but I heard that the reason that this young man that's in this picture, he either was the one who did it, or he's the one that brought the people to the game who did it. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but either way, Chris Paul was reacting to this guy touching his mother. Yo, that sense of entitlement right there, it's that same mentality that bullies have that make you feel as though, well, I can do what I want and I can say what I want. You know, some people just need you need to be checked. Some people need to be held accountable. And with some people, talking to them isn't enough accountability. Punishing them isn't enough accountability. Some people just need to get punched in the face. If you put your hands on my mother, I'm gonna punch you in the face a lot. I get it. I wish they wouldn't have held Chris Paul back. I wish Chris Paul would have gotten, actually, hold on, before I say that. I also heard that this young man was like 14. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, if he was a minor, then it's a good thing that he was held back. But if he was of age, I wish they wouldn't have held him back. And then I wish he wouldn't get in trouble for what he did. Now, of course, he would get in trouble. So I guess that's another reason that I'm glad that they did hold him back, because people would have come down on him. They would have told him he should have been the bigger person, that he is a role model. He's an example. He's blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you what he is. He's human. He's human. He has emotions, and he has a mama. And you can't go around putting your hands on people's mamas. I heard his wife was involved too, and like apparently somebody touched his wife too, or whatever. I don't know the entire story, and I'm actually normally better with that. I normally come with all of the facts before I start talking on things. But I saw enough and heard enough to know that this is what happened. I saw a video, so I know what I saw. So, but yeah, that's the other side. That's the other side of that punch. You don't know what a person could be dealing with. You don't know what a person could be fighting for. You don't know what could mean something to that person. So think about that. What does your mother mean to you? So how would you feel if somebody did that to your mother? Or maybe you don't have that relationship with your mother, fine. But you got to know that people love their mothers, and they will fight or kill for their mothers and their wives. You put your head on my wife, I'm going to punch you in the face a lot. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people in my family or in my life, close friends, who if you put your hands on them, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I said it. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that, but it's out there. The fact of the matter is, people just need to start thinking and weighing the consequences versus the rewards. Like, what exactly are you trying to get out of this? Or are you just trying to get a rise out of the person? And if your ultimate goal is to just get a rise out of the person, are the potential consequences worth that? If you're just trying to get a rise out of Mike Tyson by antagonizing him, and that's all you want to do is get a rise out of him, are the consequences worth that? Are they really? And if you get away with this, and you decide you want to go do it again to somebody else, and they go further than Mike did, well, the consequences really worth that? Don't think about just what you can gain from that. Think about what you and everybody around you could lose from that. What if you get killed? Now your life is gone, and the lives of the people who love you, who care for you, are changed forever because of a stupid decision that you made. So people, just start thinking. Stop talking so much. Stop trying to antagonize people. Stop trying to get a rise out of people. Even going back to this whole social media thing, because I see it all the time. Everybody's so tough behind their keyboards. Y'all got to come outside. And it's a good chance for a lot of y'all that you're going to run into that person that you were talking to. Now, if you're not built for that and all you're doing is trying to antagonize, that's it. Well, you're going to have to deal with some consequences if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person. I'm not justifying violence. I'm not saying that if you say something to somebody on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, if you say something that they don't like, that they have the right to punch you. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they may punch you. They may shoot you. They may do something to you. So be very careful before you decide to go run in your mouth. Again, I am not saying that it's right for them to have that kind of reaction. I am not. I'm just saying that you need to be aware of the fact that it can happen. And you need to think about that. I think that I've said everything that I want to say. Like I said, I didn't have any notes. I didn't come prepared for this. I just turned on the camera and started talking. I realized that these were the two pictures, this picture and this picture. I realized that these were the two pictures that I wanted to use. I found them, I uploaded them and turned the camera on, hit record, and I just started talking. I didn't really have, like I said, I didn't have my notes, and I didn't really have any real guidelines as far as how I was going to do this particular show. I just wanted to talk. So, yeah, what did we learn today, people? That sometimes you may get punched in the face. So just think about things before you do them, before you say things. Try to think it all the way through to the end. Think about the worst possible outcome. Pull back. Look at the big picture. Y'all be easy.